Welcome back, guys, to the Brothers Geek Out podcast. And this is another Geek Out session, guys. I wanted to say a massive thank you for Sam to join us today. Sam, how's it going?
It's going very well, my friend. How's it going for you?
No, good day, busy day. But I know we've become TikTok friends. And I said we need to get you on the podcast. And basically, we do a segment, just to let you know, because we do a segment on our YouTube page called the Geek Out Session, and I have different people from different industries, different fandoms, and different collections, and all we do is just geek out for like 45 minutes to an hour. And sometimes we get carried away, but I tried to keep it as, I don't know, as enjoyable as possible. That's the main thing. And like, I'm gonna start it off, dude, with when did you get into collecting?
Collecting. You know what? Ever since I was a little kid, my dad was buying me the Star Wars figures. I mean, we're talking the little Kenner things, yeah?
Yeah.
We're talking the little Kenner figures. And, you know, he was taking me to see the prequels. I've always, you know, you collect toys. You like, you know, I love my Buddy and Buzz, Woody and Buzz, should I say?
Yeah.
I had all of that. And then, you know what? I got into Star Wars seriously. Like, Star Wars started, well, I say started, has never stopped taking over my life. Apart from usual work commitments, etc., I really got back into like proper fandom very recently. So we're talking like collecting since like maybe 3, 4, 5, you know, really junior ages, and then taking like a big break and then just coming back full swing.
Where are you based, Sam?
I'm from Sheffield. I'm
okay,
South
cool.
Yorkshire lad.
Oh, cool. No, cool. Just so that the listeners can hear it. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So Yorkshire lad, but I actually lived out in we're near Chesterfield now.
Okay.
We moved out because I decided that city life just wasn't for me. I started home working, moved out to Chesterfield, got frankly more property for my money.
Yeah.
Like we all do away from the city life, and I've just recently, as you know, just returned to office in a bit of a sleepy town, so to speak. So, you know, that's whereabouts are you based?
I'm based in North London, but I've done a bit of traveling. Stayed up in Lake District, Oxenholme, Birmingham, and then, you know, I came back home. Yeah, I came back. But I'm actually in the quieter part of like London.
There's
where
a quiet part of London?
Yes, there is, mate. Yes, there is. I used to live in Tottenham, where, you know, you could get easy lines to like central London, but it's still quite busy. But now I live out a bit further. I'm like right next to the edge of M25. I can actually hear the traffic outside my window.
Nice.
But it's a bit more peaceful. It's a bit more calm. The neighbours are lovely. Yeah, that's my living now. At my age now, I need it to be a little more quieter and looking after the family as well. Yeah.
That's why I did it. I went to a more quiet area because I just decided that I wanted to settle down, relax a little bit, and just focus on work, focus on collecting, focus on being a geek. No,
that's good. I mean, the fandom, it brings in loads of things that when it comes to collecting, because I'm a massive collector still now. I'm into my hot toys, I'm into my sideshow figures, but it comes to a point where it's like, oh, I need to start narrowing down my collection because it's gonna go crazy. And
100%.
With yourself collecting as well, is there like a specific genre that you collect, or is it like just kind of everywhere at the moment?
You see, the thing is I'm like yourself. I started out, and every single character that I liked, I decided that I had to suddenly have in figure form. I started off with the NECA things. You know, the NECA figures. I still love NECA. I think NECA. If you're a collector and you're listening to this, if you want to start collecting and you want to go small scale figures, NECA is the one that I turn to nearly every time.
Yeah.
But genre wise, I mean, I have an expensive taste in genre because I like just about anything. You know what I mean? This is my issue here. Kibble, is the fact that I like westerns, I like horror, I like Star Wars. I like Marvel. You know,
it's a deep hole, dude. It's a deep
hole. It's a deep hole. It's a very, very deep hole. And while you like as many things, life is very joyous. But being a nerd, I was saying this to my friends today, being a nerd is expensive.
Very. It's an extra wallet that you need to carry around with you.
The nerd wallet. That's
yeah,
right.
you got to have that nerd wallet just in case. Like, you know, there is one figure in there that you got, and I do need to ask where you got it from. It's the Highlander figure. That is absolutely awesome. I absolutely love that. Which company made that one?
So there's 2 Highlander figures in there.
Oh, so it's right bang in the middle.
Yeah,
Where is it?
You're talking about McLeod.
That's
You're
it.
talking about Connor McLeod, yeah.
Connor McLeod, that's
right
it.
there. And then we got the Kurgan, the main enemy from Highlander.
So good, so good.
So many people. I'm glad you like it, man. Thank you very much. You know what? The Highlander figure is, and this is like something that I discovered very quickly. It's what they call a third-party figure. So these guys aren't even licensed to make these figures.
That's right.
And you know, which is always sort of, you know, it does frankly put some people off, but ain't nothing stopping me having a Connor McLeod in my collection. And a company came forward, and it's interesting actually, because a company called they're called Caustic Plastic. And they made this figure, called it just Scottish Highlander.
That's right, yeah.
And obviously you know the drill. And they also did a William Wallace, Mel Gibson style. And you know, people were going crazy because not many Highlanders. So if you're a Highlander fan, you're a fan. You know what I mean? Because it's such a niche thing.
That's right, yeah.
Like, you know, it's a cult film.
That's right, it is.
And if you're into it, you're into it. And yeah, so they basically said that they were doing them. I missed out on the run. I wasn't even in the game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, you know, I saw this thing, you know, being sold and going, you know, not for crazy money on the aftermarket, but people were, you know, it had
a reasonable amount. That's right, yeah.
Exactly. But Caustic Plastic now, they did such a good job of these figures that they're licensed now. So they're doing like, it's insane. So they've actually got licenses for like John Wayne.
Oh,
like
wow.
They're doing a John Wayne figure that's actually licensed from True
Nice. That's pretty cool. Because I know a lot of these third-party companies. I remember the one I had was of Heath Ledger's can't even say it properly. Heath Ledger's Joker, which was 1/4 scale, and I think it was from Killer Toys. And I was like, I'm going to put my money into something I really don't know. But then I ended up getting so many at one point that they came out really well. I mean, one of my favorite films is The Last Samurai. And they, you know, there was no figures for them. And then I think in the last 3 years, they brought out a couple of figures. And my brother's a big fan, so he ended up getting them. And I was like, man, they look really good. Like, you compare it to like the quality of Hot Toys. You're like, these guys are really doing the work. And I'm happy some of these small guys and small businesses are starting to kind of flourish and get these licenses. It's totally amazing. What's your thoughts on Henry Cavill playing the Cloud?
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Yeah?
I'm all for it. I think the only thing that I have with it is that, you know, if he's going to take the mantle and McLeod, whether he's like a relative or it's like a remake, we just don't know. This Chad Stahelski guy is doing it, isn't he? Who did the John Wick films.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I saw it and I was like, yeah, fine. Because I love Cavill's Superman. I think Cavill's a fine actor. The only thing that I've got with this is who the heck is going to be the antagonist? Who is going to be big enough to intimidate Cavill, aka Superman? Because Clancy Brown back in the day, you know, he was a monster. He looked like a monster. Next to Cavill, he's not as big as Cavill is. Cavill is a human tank. So
I know.
I don't know who. I want to see who the villain is as well, because for me, my favorite part is the villain of Highlander.
Yeah, no, it plays a big part. It'd be interesting to see where they go with that. I mean, I'm a big fan of Henry as well, and I could see him as this character. But you're right; it's all about who they pick to face off with, and it'd be interesting. You know what I think they're going to do? I think we're going to get a remake, dude.
Yeah.
I personally think we're going to get a remake, and they'll bring in characters that we already know of and make it familiar for the older fans. Don't want to offend anybody with age, but older fans, but bring in a new crowd as well, because, you know, again, it's a cult classic. Like, I mean, when I remember watching that with my dad.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm like,
how I watched it. Yeah.
so it's like, oh, it's a cult classic. It's just something that always stick with you. And it's one of those ones where you go out on the night out and you tell your boys there can only be one, you know? So it always comes out. It always comes out. Do you remember the first collectible that first thing that caught your eye as a child, but like you said, your dad was getting them for you, that kind of said, oh my God, I love this fandom?
Yeah. Now I can't remember who actually took it over. I think it was Hasbro.
Okay.
But he got me before sort of like. So I had the Kenners, but I was very, very young, like very young, because they've obviously skyrocketed now. But there was a time that you could get them for a reasonable price. But he got me this because I always liked them. But then he got me this Darth Maul, a little Darth Maul, 3.75 inches, something like that from Hasbro. And I thought, this is sick. This looks awesome. Like, this is so cool. And it was like he had the hood on and he got the one lightsaber. It's the part where he jumps Qui-Gon, in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And which is just awesome anyway. And I just thought this is wicked. And then it just took off from there. Birthday, Christmas, what do you want? I want a Star Wars toy, and that's what I got. That's brilliant. Took it off. Yeah. Yeah. What about
that's amazing.
What's your sort of go-to franchise in collecting if you do have one?
You know what? It started off with a mixture of stuff, to be honest. I mean, my uncle was an artist. I learned art from him and my mum.
Yeah.
Got into comic books at a younger age as well. He was like my youngest uncle was like my elder brother. He lived with us. He's only like 9 years difference in age, and I saw him with his Star Wars figures and how his imagination was when he was, he had the Millennium Falcon and he had the Kenner toys, and he was like, wow, you've just made this whole scene up. And then he used to draw them. And then I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I kind of got everything fandom for this. What I love was from him, but it was, I mean, originally it's the main thing that started it all off. Look, actually, you can't see it, but I got my Star Wars poster, but Star Wars, Superman, kicked it off. My uncle introduced me to Superman, and that was it. My love for that kicked off. But my fandom, my main thing is, as much as you see the Iron Man stuff back there, I'm a massive Back to the Future fan, dude.
Wow.
Massive Back to the Future fan.
I only seen number one.
Yeah.
I only saw number one less than a year ago.
Holy shit, dude.
And I loved it. I thought it was absolutely amazing.
Listen, that's amazing that you finally got to see it. The same thing. I've been married to my wife for 5 years now.
Wow.
She's never seen it. When I had the DeLorean pull up on the wedding day, she was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "You'll see." Yeah, I had it as my wedding car. It was the highlight of the day. But something. No, hopefully I mean, she'll hear this later on and she'll cuss me later on, but it's all good. It's all good. It was I don't know what it is about that movie that, has resonated so well almost over 38 years, I didn't even see it in this. I've seen it in cinema now, but I didn't see it in the cinema back then. It was my dad that went to Blockbuster's videos, got the VHS. We sat down and watched it. And I fell in love with the car, dude. And time travel. I love time travel. And the comedy was just brilliant in it. It was like,
it is.
It's probably the best timed script in Hollywood. And then, dude, my journey kind of went from there, dude. I've done art for a long time. I worked in retail. I worked with office jobs, and I'm still on my journey in art when it comes to doing comic book artwork. But I found this. I want to meet people and like-minded people that I can say, this is what we could do on an everyday basis. Yes, we do our 9-to-5 jobs, but the fandom kind of keeps me going because I meet so much interesting people along the journey, and been very fortunate and lucky to meet people like Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd.
Wow. And
proper geek out with them. And it's like, fucking hell, man. This, there was one thing that you said that resonated with me really well in our conversations on TikTok was about sticking to something and working on it really hard. And dude, believe me, you keep doing that, and before you know it, you'll be in places which you'll blow your fucking mind, dude, because I still work a 9-to-5 job. I still do loads of other things, but like what you were saying, we still make the time to do good content, geeky content, stuff that we love. You know, it brings out that true honesty. You know, like when you look at a kid and they're playing, you know, it's pure what you're seeing.
Yeah.
They haven't got no worries and the world and the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's what we get out of the fandom in collecting, or
1,000,000%.
what we like. And, you know, a lot of people still don't understand that concept. You know, we go through the stigma of, I think, dude, it's time for you to grow up. And it's like, oh, man, you really lost your child in you, haven't you? You lost that kid in you. Like, you know, it's sad to see, because people always would say, like, Kibbs, man, you're like, what, 23, 24? Somebody asked me that today. And I was like, no, dude, I hit the big 4-0 last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And they were like, what the fuck? And they were like, they genuinely thought I was a mutant anyway. But they were like, what is it you're doing? And I was like, nothing. I laugh. I, you know, push through the bad times and the negative times. But my main thing is, you know, laughter, medicine, and my comic books and my collection keep me like really grounded and kid level. Because if you're not going to enjoy the sweeter things in life, man, what are we here for, man? Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, yes, we're adults, but adults can have fun too.
Exactly. Of course they can. You know what? For me, it's you know, I downloaded TikTok, and I'm in the financial field anyway. I'm a mortgage and protection broker.
Okay.
In my day-to-day life, and I started sort of trying to put content out there that was like financially based. So there's me out there. It's called it's on TikTok. It's called Average Bloke's Blog. That's me, and it's got not a big following whatsoever. Bigger following than what I have now. And I was sort of trying to do stuff about sort of daily motivation, you know, finance related things. And then I sat down one day and just thought, you know what? It's getting to a point now. I'm getting home in the evening and I'm thinking, got to upload a TikTok. Got to keep going. And I was like, that's not right. You're supposed to want to go on TikTok. You're supposed to want to go onto your content, and you're supposed to want to be able to do the things that you want to upload.
That's right.
And then I started posting about nerd stuff, and I started posting about films, and I started posting about my figures, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is fun. Like, I'm looking forward to going on my phone now and seeing what people say, good or bad, or seeing what some of my friends on TikTok have been posting as well. And like, now I've got obviously CeleBroo Collects, which is a play on the name. The name's Sam Lee, so it's just CeleBroo.
CeleBroo.
Which is what's like, because my nickname from my pals is Slee.
Okay.
And then, like, so very creative. And I was just like, you know what, CeleBroo. I'm just going to name it that, and it's a blast. And like you say, you know, I'm 28 now, and I've just moved into a property with my partner. And I sat down and I looked at her one day, and I'm blessed actually, because I'm with someone that's so supportive. And I said, I'm going to follow this fandom now. I'm going to follow this little, because I think it's almost an itch, and it's an itch that never gets scratched, because you're like, where could this fandom take me? Yeah. And when I say fandom, you know, where could me following sort of my dreams and making content about the things that I love, like everybody, I think everybody's got a little bit of that in them, or at least even if you just engage from the sidelines and you just watch, you are still engaging in that fandom, aren't you? Even
exactly.
If you don't want to create,
exactly.
If you're an introverted person, that kind of thing. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to follow it this time.
Awesome.
And I got 75 followers, so I'm almost ready to quit my day job.
Dude, you just keep pushing, honestly. Like, I think I've been on it for just under 2 years.
Yeah.
And it takes time, dude. But as you said, if you, like, as you're saying, like, you know, when it comes to the content, scheduling, having pre-recorded stuff, and, you know, make sure your drafts has got at least 10 things on there to continuously post on there, then, you know, my day-to-day job is social media. The company I work for, I do social media. So I'm still learning how to like do some of the stuff on TikTok, because you're like, okay, you followed some of these trends and stuff like that, and you get a couple of more views. But I mean, you want real, like, you know, what you've got, your 75 people, dude, I'm telling you, they're engaged. There's a reason why they clicked on that. And there's going to be reasons for people to click on that more. And I'm telling you, you follow your fandom, you follow your heart, and tell you that itch will always be there. But it will feel a bit more calm, and you'll be like, you know what, I'm enjoying this. And then opportunities will come along. And, you know, before you know it, I mean, how long have I been on this social platform? I've been in social for like 10 years now. And only in the last 5 years, and as you said, the most key important thing that you said was having somebody that supports you, dude. That plays such a big part, because I've been in relationships before where nobody really understood it, you know. And now I'm lucky enough to have somebody who's like, shit he loves. It brings out the kid in him, and I love that, because he's always bouncing off the walls. She's supported me through everything, and, you know, and opportunities have arisen from it, because the change of mood. I mean, yes, it's hard. Mental health is like a big thing, and we suffer in all different ways and different formats. Not many guys talk about it as well, due to pride. And I feel like it's something that needs to be spoken about a lot more. And I try to do that. And yes, I'm going to have my down days. I'm not going to be able to get content out and stuff like that for people. But dude, just keep pushing. That's the one thing. So be proud of that, man. Definitely. Without a doubt.
Yeah,
be very proud of that, because now you found something that you really like. You itch because you want to make that content. You know, you get a new, like I saw your Kylo Ren post. I remember getting my first Kylo Ren hot toy, and I was like, this is dope. Like, this is amazing. Like, I can't believe this. Like, you know, you get to a point where you like I've started to I've narrowed down my collection massively.
I'm doing that now.
Yeah. I was at a point where I was like, shit, I'm coming up close to 100 figures. What the fuck do I do with this? There's no space, you know, this is going to end up becoming baby's room. So, I have to cherish as much as I can while I've got it. But I've narrowed it down now. I think now I've come to a point now where it's like very limited on what I get. I've got into Funko Pops, dude, and I've got a really bad addiction. Yeah, I love Funko Pops, like specific ones, but I have got addicted to people signing them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've got some really cool ones. I mean, I've got a couple at the moment now. I got Michael J. Fox recently, which I'm stoked about. A lot of the Back to the Future ones, but then I've got like my favorite thing as an artist, because I love my art. I've every artist that I've met in the comic book industry, I've got them to sign a comic book and sign the pop as well of their creation. So I met like Frank Miller, who did the Dark Knight Returns, and I remember freaking out in front of him, because I was like, fucking hell, this is Frank Miller. Like his comic book like changed the industry when it came to Batman in general. I didn't even know what to. He goes, you want me to sign a toy? And I was like, yeah, sorry, dude. I was like, so I've got into it now and I'm stuck. So anybody that I meet, I'd love to get your signature on it. And, you know, it's been happening ever since, I think, coming on a couple of years. But I'm really specific on Funkos. I mean, they're quite gimmicky, fun and cute, but they're easy to carry around, get something signed and just kind of display as it is.
I get it.
Yeah. But Sam, I've got another question.
Okay.
What powers would you have, dude? And this could be anything. And it's not have to. Yeah, what powers would you have, dude?
I think that I would like the ability to read people's mind.
Professor Xavier. Okay.
I would like that. I'd like them all, of course, all of the big ones, super strength and flight, etc. But I think I would like the power to read people's minds. I think that would be and I don't mean that in an evil way, or, you know, not in a super villain way. I just think that would be a very, very interesting, but also sometimes dark place. What about you?
Healing, dude. I don't know what it is. Healing factor. Yeah, the healing factor, man. Yeah. Healing factor. I don't want the claws, though. I'm not a violent dude. I'm not. No conflict.
Yeah.
So I'll take a couple of punches, but I just want to heal quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it.
Healing. I don't know why. It's something. And it was a change, because originally I think I wanted to be like Gambit. So I always wanted to have, you know, things that I can touch and throw and blow up. But I think I was going through a phase at that time, an angry phase. But healing. I think healing is an important thing. I think, you know, not just, you know, the physical healing, the mental healing as well. So that's one of my ones. But as always, bro, it's always been Superman, isn't it? I'm gonna be strong as shit and I want to fly.
Hey, you know what? Superman's an interesting one, because I was never bothered as a kid, and then all of a sudden now, in the last 2 years, I freaking love Superman. I just think Superman is just cool. I mean, first, like, original superhero, of course, but like, this guy is just cool. Like, Cavill did an amazing job. And what I've like committed myself to reading now because I see it everywhere and I see it in collectibles. It's the Hush,
Yep.
Batman Hush.
Yep.
Because of what they did with Superman.
Yep. It's definitely one. Yeah.
His look in that, he just looks insane.
It looks absolutely awesome. Jim Lee, man. Jim Lee, that artist is absolutely amazing. Hush is a great book, bro. You're going to love that. Yeah, you're going to enjoy that. Hush is one. You know what? I'm going to drop you a list after our conversation and check it out, because I think Superman's a big character. You know what I mean? I think what Henry did was, Man of Steel is actually one of my favorite top 10 movies.
Great film.
I love what Zack Snyder did and what he introduced. He grounded Superman. Yes. He made us know that this guy is an alien. He's not human, and he was learning, This was the beginning phase, and I'm kind of gutted because I don't know what's going on with Warner Brothers and everything's up in the air. Do we get a Man of Steel 2? Do we get him coming back?
It's weird now, isn't it? It's weird now. Because how much do we enjoy Zack Snyder's Justice League? I mean,
fucking hell,
God.
Bro. Shit.
Jesus.
5 years fans petition for this movie. We finally get it. And I remember sitting down and watching it, and I was like fucking gobsmacked, because I was like, how the fuck did they take out all those big elements from the movie? And it's not even that, I think Vanity Fair had released an interview with Joss Whedon and some of the shit he was talking about. Sorry for my language, dude. I do swear a lot.
That's all right.
And I was like, I originally thought it was a studio issue, but now I found out, it is people. And not being able to work together and not seeing the actual vision. I mean, we do it in our everyday work life when we work in a team. If everybody can see the same vision, we can work towards that, which Zack was doing with the team of actors that he had on that set. And I felt like they had a beautiful story. That bro, Cyborg, like they cut the whole bit out of a Cyborg. He was the heart and soul of that movie. And it's like,
yeah, it was.
Why the hell did you guys do that? And The Flash, originally when it did come out, I didn't like him at all.
No, I didn't.
This film kind of gave them redemption.
Yeah.
For each of those 100%. Characters, yeah. But Henry Cavill, man, I need Man of Steel 2. It's getting too long now. My heart aches, man, every time I watch that first one.
He's my favorite, because I've always been a bigger Batman fan. I've always loved Batman. But when it comes to the DCEU, Superman's my favorite. I just think this Cavill is just unbelievable. And that's not because I dislike Ben Affleck's Batman. I think he's great. But that scene, man, I was getting teary, when they're just like, fly, my son. I was just like, just really in tears, you know what I mean? Dude. Oh, man, when he dons that black suit and you're like, here we go, Superman's back.
No, it's brilliant. I hope they put it in the big screen in the cinemas. I really want to watch that on the big screen, because
they deserve it. Yeah,
they definitely deserve that. I feel like we need that on the big screen. So, what's your favorite movie, dude? Pick one. You have to pick one. And it's hard. I know it's hard because I've got 20. But pick one. What's your favorite?
Bram Stoker's Dracula, featuring Gary Oldman.
Good one. Very good movie. What was it? What is it? Tell me.
It is my parents' favorite film as well, strangely enough. And I remember when I was a little bit older, 12 or 13, when you get to watch a scary film. Yeah. Or as scary as that is. I remember I watched it and then I thought, wow, that's got a lot of something that a lot of films don't have. And then as I become more of a film fan, I watched it again, and Gary Oldman's Dracula, the old man Dracula in the red robe, is the first 1/6 scale figure I bought, because I saw this film again about 5 years ago, and I said, right, this is it. If I want a figure, I've got to get a figure of this guy. And I started looking up custom figures. Yeah. And then I typed in Gary Oldman custom Dracula figure, and it came up, and I found a guy. Wow. Literally. I found a guy who made it years ago. And he dropped this email, and I just thought, I'm just going to chat, because if you do not ask, you do not get. Exactly. And I emailed him, and I just said, hi, sorry for the random email. I saw that you made Dracula a long time ago, or an outfit set for Dracula. I was wondering if you'd like to make me one, and how much that would be, please. I got an email an hour later. Yes, Sam, I'll make you one, no problem. This is the price. He gave me a price, which was a lot for a collectible. As you know, it's a custom bloody figure. Fucking hell. saw it and I thought, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. And I ran downstairs. My dad, he's a collector.
Yeah.
So dad's like Jerry Anderson, Thunderbirds, he's old school. I mean, I can't be dealing with that, but I respect its place. I like it.
Yeah.
I respect where it came from. He loves all of that. And I said, look, I've got this. And he said, how have you got that? Showed him some photos. He's like, that's awesome. We need to get a glass case for it.
Nice.
I've got this little glass case. And I thought, here we go. This is going to be about the size of my neck. This is going to be the best thing I've ever seen. And I remember when it finally came, I pulled out the hand and I was just like, what? This is massive. Pulled the figure out. And first 1/6 scale figure, didn't know what one was.
Yeah.
So the film holds a very special place in my heart because I think not only did Francis Ford Coppola make a cinematic masterpiece, it's got its flaws, but with the practical effects, etc., it holds very near and dear because it's also my step into the collecting for it as well.
Yeah. That's interesting, dude. Oh, shit. Put me on the spot there. I mean, Back to the Future is my go-to movie, I think. And I'll always love it for for what it has. But I'm torn between Inception, Christopher Nolan's Inception, and Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins.
I've never watched Inception.
What?
But it's on the list. I've got it downstairs in the TV cabinet in 4K because I looked at it and it was part of the bundle deal. I was like, if it's Nolan, it's good. So I'm going to give it a go sometime. So I think that me and the missus will sit down. But yeah, Batman Begins is awesome as well.
Batman Begins is good. You know what? I'm going to go with Inception because that's the first movie that I went and saw in cinema 7 times.
What? Really? I've never seen a film that much in cinema. 3 times is my max. Really?
I've done 15. I think I did. No, hold up. Shit, not 15. Yeah, I did. I think I did about 15, 16 times, dude. And that was Force Awakens.
Yeah, Force Awakens I went to see 3 times.
Yeah, Force Awakens.
But not 15, 16, my God.
Yeah, I love that, bro. I went after work. I went in the morning before my shift. I was just trying to find time so I could just really indulge in it. But Inception was the first movie that did that to me. There was the way Nolan directs his movies and the way his visuals are. He has this story that he tells about time in all of his movies. He's done it with Memento. He's done it with Dunkirk. He uses time. He did it with Batman Begins. He uses time to tell a story. And Inception is a mind heist movie. It's so fucking clever, man. I was like, I got out of the cinema with my friends and I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but that was a great movie. I'm gonna go to the next one. And they were like, what the, you seriously gonna stay here till 1 o'clock midnight? I was like, yeah, I have to see it again, dude. My mind's ticking. I need to understand it more. I need to break it down. And then I went back, I think it was the following day, then a couple of days after, and kind of on its run till the end before it comes out of cinema. And I was like,
wow.
There's something gripping about what he's done. He's good with scripts. He's good with dialogue. He's good with visuals. It's a stunning film. Even he doesn't like using much visual effects, but when he does use it, he uses it to its potential greatness. Because Dunkirk, man, I love Dunkirk.
Phenomenal film.
Such a good film. And just you could look at it. It's like a painting. You like watching a paint dry, and it's like, different parts of it and the way he's mixed it up is just mind-boggling. But I think Inception is like another movie that I always plug in and I'll be like, I don't look at my phone. I'm stuck on the screen because it's just caught my attention. So yeah,
I don't do that. I'm with you there. When a film for me is escape. It's an escapism. So my phone goes down to one side. I cannot do it. Netflix, no matter what, I can't be doing this. I've got it. I'm in.
You've got to be.
I'm watching a film or I'm not. And I think that spawns from our fandom, doesn't it? Some people can watch a film, it's like, that was a good film, and that's it. But I think it goes a little bit deeper for us, doesn't it? As film fanatics, we're into cinema and things. You sort of sit and think on it and think, I've got to watch it again. I've got to analyze and unpack, and that's all part of the fun. Of
course, definitely is. I mean, a lot of people. Well, I don't know. It's a tough one. A lot of people don't get it. It's some people smoke, some people drink loads, some people take all sorts of substances. Yeah, this is my substance.
Mine too. Yeah,
this is my substance. This is what we take. But No, awesome, man. That's just absolutely amazing. Like with your collection at the moment now, before I go off topic again, is there anything in like what you're thinking of doing next, or what you're gonna get, or?
Yeah. Oh yes. There's always room for improvement and spending money.
Yeah.
But so we've got this here now. Most people, like when you see these 6-scale collectibles, or at least I feel most people probably might not see that. Like you see the D12, they get the D12s, and they get this big glass canopy. I was like, you know what? I want something taller, and I want something bigger, and I want something more customizable. So I got obviously this. I got the Billy bookcases, and I put sort of the no-fly lights in there. And what I've decided is that this is about a third of what I want. What you can see in front of you, the Billies. There's a corner set that they do. I'm really after that. Yeah, I want that. I'm going to do all the no-fly lights with that, and that's going to be purely a Star Wars shelf.
Nice.
That's just dedicated to my favorite franchise, my favorite fandom, which is Star Wars. That's all it's going to be. Yeah. And then we've got it on this side. I think it's going to be sort of cult films and more horror. We're going to have another sort of corner set there. The details going upstairs. The missus is taking that winner.
Nice.
It's what I'm really excited. But in terms of what an immediate change, I can't believe I'm saying this, but after years of trying to attain one, or it just not falling at the right time finance wise, I've just paid my friend. He's very kindly let me do a subscription plan, or like a payment plan to him, and he sent it out today. We got the Hot Toys Jack Sparrow.
Ah, nice.
Oh, man. that is going to be a grail for me, because I'm a massive Pirates of the Caribbean fan. There isn't a bad film for me.
No, there's 4 of them, right?
5.
Oh shit, I'm missing out, dude. I'm a 1 to 3 guy. I saw number 4. I was like, I still love the adventure. Listen, movies have its thing, and I still watch movies because of that. I'm not one to criticize and talk about little things, like little grainy details about it. People need to learn. You don't know how much hard work goes into these fucking movies. Yeah, exactly. Enjoy it for what it is, and it's so hard because we live in a world now where opinions, like everybody has to air their thoughts about something. But I'm just like, you don't know who you're hurting, and it happens. We've done that. I mean, Justice League. That's the main one. What happened there, nitty gritty, but I can still watch that version, but just it's sad what's happened in the process of it. And yes, I think I went in on that pretty hard, and then later on figured out a lot of people work fucking hard on that, man. I don't want to be hurting nobody's feelings, so I need to be considerate in what I say. Yes, I'm going to get my point across, but I don't want to offend anybody in the same way as well. But now Pirates of the Caribbean is wicked. Are they looking to do another one? You know what? It's strange, isn't it? Because of the whole libel case with Johnny. Oh, poor dude, man. Amber. I know. Yeah, exactly. Poor dude. I sincerely hope so. I think we need one more. I think we need one more with a great antagonist, and then I think that Jack Sparrow could sail off, because a lot of people say that this franchise is dead without without Johnny, which I understand from a certain point. But then again, Star Wars has managed to survive without Darth Vader. Star Wars has managed to survive without Luke Skywalker. If you could have an almost semblance passing of the torch, then what's to stop that universe carrying on? Pirates were around for some time at least. Of course. And Johnny absolutely is the center of the Pirates universe. There's no doubt about it. And if there's one more and Johnny's in it and he's off, then fine. But I think we need one more, just one more to round off that last trilogy. Because have you not watched 5? 5's pretty good. I need to check it out, dude. I've got loads. Disney Plus. Some Disney Plus. Even better. I'll check it out, definitely. I'll check it out, definitely. I will put that on the list. I'll maybe do that tonight, to be honest. I will check that out, definitely. While we're on the movie talk, did you watch SpiderMan No Way Home? Yes. Yes. You should be asking me why I watched Spider-Man No Way Home and how many times did I watch Spider-Man No Way Home. Who hasn't watched Spider-Man No Way Home? Well, we had to, because the internet's a spoiler for everything at the moment now, and it's so hard. I think that's the worst I've ever seen it. You know what? In a way, I kind of think like Marvel and Disney are quite smart, because they kicked off these rumors 2 years ago,
Yeah.
And as soon as they announced Alfred Molina coming back as Doc Ock, the internet went fucking nuts. It was like, spoilers everywhere and people posting up pictures. And I was like, what would have been great is what happened when we watch Endgame, and the moment that Cap catches, it's gone right in my head now. When he catches
Molyneux.
Yeah, Molyneux. When he catches that, the whole cinema went nuts. But it's not something like with the Spider-Man stuff, we were expecting it to happen. And I had my theories where I'm like, I don't think Toby and Andrew are coming back. I think Doc Ock, like my main theory was that Doc Ock and Green Goblin fight with Tom Holland because they wanted to have their redemption against the other guys from the other universes. That was my main theory, because I was like, if these rumors are going to be that big and they're going to do this type of thing, like, I literally cried when I saw Toby on the screen, dude.
Yeah.
When he came through that portal, because Andrew, I got so much respect for him. I can watch those movies, but I think he was a brilliant Spider-Man.
I do.
But Peter Parker for me was Tobey Maguire. When he came through, my brother was like, "What's up, bro?" I'm like, "I can't stop crying, dude," because they actually did this. Like we got to see. Fucking hell, it's absolutely nuts. Like multiverse. Like I've been reading comics from the age of the age of 11. I think I got my first Superman comic when I was 9, but really went into it until I was like, you know what? Let me turn the pages, because I was looking at pictures before.
Yeah, me too.
I was just looking at pictures because I was amazed on how they draw the detail and stuff like that. But to see, oh man, dude, like you must have been screaming.
So I've always seen online cinemas of people going nuts. Even in Endgame, I had a quiet cinema. No joke.
Really?
I had a quiet cinema. So I was like,
somebody told me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing? They told you to shut up, yeah?
As soon as he caught the hammer, I was so like in the air screaming, and the woman next to me was like, "Shut the fuck up!" And I was like, "Oh shit, sorry." Like but there were people still screaming, but it happened to me. But anyway, I was cool. I need to respect the cinema outgoers. So
100%.
Yeah.
And then when Andrew stepped through, because I knew straight away when he looks in through that portal, you're like, "That's Andrew." And then he stepped through and he took the mask off. Everyone just went, "Yes!" And then, you know what? It was weird. Like you see, MJ do that turn, and then you know what's coming next. And it was just silence. It was the strangest cinema experience ever. When Toby walked through, it was silence and just gasps, because it was just like
emotional.
He's back. Yeah. And I remember just being like tears in my eyes, and he was just like, "Hey," and they were like, "Peter," and I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like, this is real, because Spider-Man's my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
It goes Spider-Man, Batman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I was a kid watching the Raimi films, seeing him back, and then it was all real. But I thought straight away, I thought they will not, like, I've got to admit, I thought it was real as soon as I saw that Doc Ock was back. I was like, it's real now. Because I was like, surely they wouldn't be stupid enough not to.
No, and whatever the deals they pulled off and the strings they had to pull to get something like this together, because for any comic book fan, even when you watch the DC TV shows, when they intercross with characters, multiverse talks, and, it's so weird, dude, that we've come to an era now where it's like, my God, I'm seeing this on the screen. You're reading them in the books, you watch the cartoons, you're like, multiverse and more characters coming through. Like, I know Doctor Strange is going to be nuts.
Yeah, I've never been so hyped for a Doctor Strange movie in my life.
Who would be?
He isn't one of the big ones.
He's not. And it's like what they did. Like, I go back because somebody sent me a question today on TikTok, and it was saying, who's the character that you associate with and why? And I told him it was Tony Stark and his journey on, being that arrogant dude he was, to not want to know anything, but himself, to making that sacrifice in Endgame.
Yeah.
And, I've always seen the struggles of what he went through as a character to feel needed somewhere and to make such a big sacrifice like that. And those connections that I took I can relate to my journey in my life. Not as extreme, but there's little things in there that would resonate with you as a character. And I said to them, it's going to be Iron Man. And, Iron Man was not a big character back in the days.
Yeah.
It was, the best-selling comic books were the X-Men.
Wow. And look how times have changed, man.
The B team, which was the Avengers, and the Guardians of the Galaxy and all them lot were,
I didn't know
like
Guardians were.
Yeah, they were like side characters. They were like really small. Their comics weren't that big. It weren't that. And what Marvel and Disney have done with bringing in great, creative minds and creative people to get these on the big screen, it's just a joyful moment. Because I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy, really? Like, if in the original Infinity Wars comic, if you see the Guardians of the Galaxy, Nebula's there and Gamora's there and Drax is there. They didn't have Rocket Raccoon. They didn't have Peter Quill. So like they had a Captain America 27 who was a Native American Indian woman. And there was something else. There was another character, a funny square-headed character in there. But yeah, it's weird because then they introduced these characters and it's like, holy shit, that movie was, still one of my favorites. That's in my top 10 movies as well because of how different the soundtrack, the visuals, the colors, Man, I still love that end scene with Ronan and Peter Quill like dancing away in the Infinity Stone, and it was like, man, it's marvelous, man. We live in good times at the moment, being in this fandom because it's like,
I agree.
It came to a point where growing up and thinking, you know what, you said it as well in the beginning. You kind of let go of it in between. You had a moment where it wasn't there. I stopped doing artwork for 15 years, bro.
Wow, that's
15 years. I turned 16. Life of college and the rest of it came along with it. I had too much fun, basically. And then I hit 30 and I was like, shit, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I don't know what to do. I've lost everything I loved and my passions in life. I'm just working in a job where I'm just making some money barely to cover rent and food. And I went through a divorce.
Wow.
And, I went back to my mum's, dude. And I went into the loft and she was like, you can stay here, space. You don't need to go, you don't need to live out there by yourself. Just come home and just, start again. And then I opened a box in the loft with all my old stuff in it. And I was like, Mum, you kept this stuff? And she was like, yeah, this is all your artwork from school days. I was like, wow. And I looked at that and I was like, oh my God, I was amazing. Like, I still think 15-year-old Kibbs is a better artist than 40-year-old Kibbs.
Wow.
I just had so much passion and love into it. And I do now. I mean, with the stuff that I do now, I mean, I do random sketches and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love the sketches.
But now I've got into a bit more. I do digital stuff and, passion, dude. I think that's the main thing. I mean, that's the reason why we started the podcast 4 years ago. Again, to meet like-minded people like yourself and just kind of talk about your passion, your drive, and if it inspires one person to say, Kibbs, or, Sam, I heard your podcast, dude. I'm fucking inspired. Our job's done, dude, bro. I'm happy with that. So it's nice to meet you, dude.
You too.
Yeah. Tell us where we can follow you, dude. This is where the plugins kick in, dude.
Absolutely. You can follow me right now on TikTok. You can join my already massive following. It is at CeleBroo Collects. So CLE and then CELE, should I say? I'm getting excited. Bro, collects all lowercase. That is where you can follow me. Instagram, I'm going to set something up soon. I'm going to set up a Twitter for it soon as well.
Awesome.
I'm mainly focusing on TikTok, but follow me there and let's sort of figure
link. I'm going to put that link in that description.
I appreciate that.
Go down there, click on there, check out his stuff. Amazing content, amazing person. He's got a great collection as well, guys. And it's not just the one like mine, just the Iron Man stuff. He has a great collection of stuff on there. But yeah, no, dude, listen, thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
It's always nice. I was going to say, I do want to get you on again, dude, to geek out a bit.
Of course. Yeah.
I do a weekly podcast with my brother who lives in Singapore.
Yeah.
And we just geek out about current news in the movie world and the comic book world, but we talk about everyday stuff as well.
Cool.
He's an industry guy as well. But one day, man, definitely, it'd be nice to get your thoughts on, before I go, let's add this last bit before I go. Boba Fett, dude. How are you finding it so far? I've heard your thoughts, but I just wanted to clarify.
You know what? It's letting me down a little bit now, and I'm hoping when I go downstairs in about whenever, in a moment's time, when I'm hoping that I'm going to come out a new fan, because right now I'm a little bit of a crossroads with it, because I think the whole mystique of Boba Fett, maybe we were given a little bit more than we needed. Maybe, I don't know. Because he was great in the Mando. He was like Mandalorian season 2. Boba Fett was my favorite character. Apart from Luke. Like Luke's like my favorite ever. Jesus, now there were tears there. Let me tell you, that's the story for another time. Jesus Christ, there were tears there. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah. My wife didn't get what was going on.
Oh man, no, they don't understand this certain bit. Some of them don't understand. They never will. There were tears. She's never seen me cry. But Luke Skywalker has. But yeah, you know what? The Book of Boba Fett's got its moments. I didn't like the 3rd episode, just like everyone else. That felt very weird, very Disney. The super slow chase was very odd, very I
think they did that on purpose, dude.
Surely.
I genuinely feel like they do that on purpose, because I think what Jon Favreau did with bringing in Mandalorian and the characters that is, the stories that they've put down on this, because a lot of the Mandalorian series I absolutely love, because they remind me of old Western movies. I'm a big spaghetti Western film, because when they did Magnificent Seven, they did what else did they do? They did a couple of old cowboy movies. I know they originated from samurai stories, but they did a lot of that. And I grew up with spaghetti Western movies because of my dad. He's a big fan of Sergio Leone, and that is like in my blood. I love like those movies. So when I saw The Mandalorian, I love that he brought that sort of Western feel to it. And he's done that with Boba Fett.
He has.
I just feel like the direction of what, like Robert Rodriguez, what he's doing, I can't seem to catch the gist of the story and where he's going with it.
I can't either. It's not quite as sharp as John, is it?
That's right.
Although the writing's there with John, the direction is off pace sometimes, and there's little things where I'm like, why would he even do that?
Yeah.
Everybody loved the 4th episode, and I was like, well, hang on a minute. I've got some issues with the 4th episode. This guy, in a flashback, we saw him lose his armor to the Jawas, and he's shoving his ship in full, face first, to try and find his armor, and getting himself nearly killed by the Sarlacc all over again. I'm like, I've got issues with that. Fair enough, he might not have known he was out of it, etc. But it just looks stupid, I feel, from a plot point.
Yeah.
The flashbacks after a bit were just doing my head in. Like, I thought they very much overstayed their welcome. I think the story of him finding Fennec Shand, who is stealing the show for me, by the way, what an amazing character. She is sick. I think that they could have been told in 2 episodes rather than stretched over 4, maybe even just 1.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's very true. That's very true.
I have faith. You know what? In John we trust. And in Dave Filoni, we certainly trust.
Oh yes, definitely.
And I'm very excited to go downstairs and see, hopefully, a chrome armored friend as well.
Listen, I'm not going to keep you any longer, dude, because I know we've got loads to talk about, and we can talk about this stuff for hours. But I want to say massive thank you, Sam, for coming on to the Brothers Geek Out podcast. Yeah, no, definitely. So I'm going to do a shameless plug now, guys. Listen, feedback is so important, guys, and the YouTube channel is growing. I think we're coming up to... Hold up. Sam, you don't know. I used to have an old channel which had quite a lot of following, but I got rid of it and I started fresh because I wanted to focus on one thing, which was podcasting and talk about fandom. So we recently started the channel, the Brothers Geek Out podcast channel, guys. I needed to get to 100 subscribers so that we can get our customized URL. Click on that subscribe button. Click on the like button, click on the dislike button if you have to. Drop a comment so, people get to see this stuff. Share it to people that really will enjoy this stuff. But the Geek Out sessions happen every week. So, dude, your episode will come out next week. But we do the regular podcast, which comes out every Mondays, which is with my brother. Guys, we are just not on YouTube, though. We are on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcast. I can't even keep up with all these names. But yeah, we're on all of them, guys. So if you love your geeky shit, then come around, listen to the Brothers Geek Out. There's actually loads more people on here, guys. Like, that's the main thing. But just give us some feedback. Drop some comments below. If there's any questions you want me to ask Sam on the next episode, or if there was something on this episode that you specifically wanted to find out more about collectibles, then comment below. Drop us a message on TikTok or Instagram. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I got that. I'm still trying to work on this outro. It's so hard to keep up, dude. But listen, again, massive thank you to Sam. And guys, keep it geeky. We'll catch up soon. One love.
Definitely. Peace. Take care.